following content is brought to you by Social Inform Media.
This story is brought to us by VTDigger.org. And we've done some VT Digger stories before out of Vermont. And it's another one where if you think you're a free American, you're only as free as law enforcement allows you to be. Now, allegedly, this guy is reported to have a criminal record. So, I mean, some people would say, well, you know, if you break the law and you got a criminal record, you brought it on yourself. Maybe not. But just because someone has a criminal record doesn't mean they can be falsely accused by the police and just, okay, hey, he's got a criminal record, screw him. No. It's still wrong. Because if you know they do this to the guy with a criminal record, it could happen to somebody with no record. What are we talking about? Well, the man accused of slashing a construction worker with broken shards of glass on Interstate 91 in Rockingham this week has been cleared of all charges after video surveillance showed him in a different location at the time of the attack. Okay, it might be Rockingham. I said Rockingham. Maybe it's Rockingham. In England, it would be Rockingham. Don't say Rockingham in England. Don't say Birmingham. Say Birmingham. So I'm going to say Rockingham. Maybe it's Rockingham. I digress. Vermont State Police had arrested Ryan Avery, 45, who has no fixed address, he's homeless, on Wednesday night after a day-long search for a suspect who attacked a worker that morning. But on Thursday, Windham Deputy State's Attorney Stephen Brown held off the filing on an aggravated assault charge against Avery after learning about information that was exculpatory in nature, he said during a hearing in court. Now, late Friday afternoon, Vermont State Police said in a press release that their investigators were able to determine conclusively that Avery was at another location when the incident occurred. He wasn't even there, but he got arrested. State Police spokesperson Adam Silverman said in an email that Avery was recorded elsewhere on surveillance video. And they were honest about that? Like, oh, they actually let that information fly? Silverman did not immediately respond to a follow-up question about where the video was recorded. Avery had been held since Wednesday night. He's been held. And was charged with assault on an officer after police claimed he charged at a trooper when they tried to transport him from Westminster Barracks to the Springfield prison. Well, that's because he thinks he's being kidnapped. The guy did nothing. The cops grab him, they arrest him, and then they're going to transfer him. He thinks he's being kidnapped. He's like, I'm never going to be seen again. They're going to kill me. What the heck's going on? He's an innocent guy at this point. Hell yeah, he fought. But they're going to charge him with it. But that charge was also dismissed, police said. Avery was not charged with that. He was not listed as incarcerated by the Department of Corrections as of Friday evening. Rick Ammons, a public defender representing Avery, said in an email Friday night that his client was not anywhere near the site of the attack on the construction worker on Wednesday morning. Did you hear that? The public defender. He should become the public. We're going to sue. Maybe get a little extra money there. Oh, he can't. He's a PD. He has to hire an attorney for that. Well, if you're in Vermont, if you were out here in California, you could call Larry H. Parker. Ammons said, he did not elaborate, and he decidedly had a defense regarding the incident at the Westminster Barracks after he'd been arrested on an earlier incident. So he was arrested for attacking the construction worker. Now he has a defense against attacking the trooper. Like I said, he didn't elaborate, but I'm sure it was he thought he was being kidnapped. Police said Wednesday had warned the public that a dangerous suspect was on the loose. Now, authorities appeared to have started zeroing in on Avery when a social worker embedded with the state police talked to members of the Bellows Falls Police Department and other mental health workers in an effort to identify possible suspects, according to information in an affidavit by Trooper Nathan Greco. Christine Bullard, who works in the Westminster Barracks, sought information about people experiencing homelessness who matched a physical description provided by the victim, 24-year-old Ramiro Muro of North Carolina, according to the affidavit. Bullard received 3 names. Avery's was one of them. While the other 2 men were described as non-violent, the affidavit stated, Bullard was advised that Avery had an extensive criminal history and is violent and unstable. Murrow was then shown a lineup of 8 photos and selected a recent picture of Avery, according to the affidavit. So, this guy just happened to pick this homeless guy who wasn't even there at the time. You see what I'm saying? And it goes down. I'll put a link in the description box as always, but what if it wasn't a homeless guy that attacked this guy? What if it was just some drunk that was out that night? But immediately they go, how many homeless people do we have that have mental problems? Let's look at it. Give us some names. And he's the only one that really, out of the 3 names, that has a violent history. That's him. And it wasn't even him. He was somewhere else. God bless America.